Tuesday morning, the Philadelphia 76ers announced that Joel Embiid had a, quote, successful procedure to address the injury to the lateral meniscus in his left knee, and he will be reevaluated in approximately 4 weeks, depending on how the rehab goes, potentially a longer absence than that. So, Steve, your first blush thoughts on the news that Philly's going to be without Embiid for at least the next month?
It's a bummer. It's a bummer for Joel Embiid to face injuries again. It's a bummer, especially because he's playing at such a high level every single night. Like, I mean, you imagine, just look at the game log, how many times we've seen him score 30 points this year. The 30-10 streak that he had. The man was averaging, 35?
Yeah, he was up near 36, yeah.
Shooting 53%, which I think only Wilt and Michael Jordan had done for a full season. So it's like...
decent company.
Hey, I wish we kind of appreciated that a little bit more because, again, remember, he's doing this off an MVP campaign. And this is a Sixer team that, once the James Harden stuff happened, expectations changed. And they were able to exceed those. So it's kind of a shame he doesn't get to finish that story in that sense, and they don't get to kind of understand how good is this version of us.
The issue, I mean, as we sort of spin it forward and we look forward, they're basically a Tyrese Maxey putting up 51 away from a 6-game losing streak since Embiid went down. 26-8 with Embiid in the lineup, now 4-11 without him. And there are some confounding variables there. Other guys been in and out of the lineup. Tobias Harris has been knocked. D'Anthony Melton, they've got Nick Batum been in and out. So they've had, it's not just that they've been without their main guy, it's they've been without a lot of their main guys. And now they're going to be without their main guys for a lot longer. And that the concern that you look at is like, their point differential without Embiid for the season is still positive, but that's because Maxey's been cooking, right? And now you're going to have more of those minutes where neither of them are on the court because Maxey, as much as Nick Nurse might want to play Tyrese Maxey 48 minutes, he's going to have to at least ease off a little bit of that. And that's when it all goes sideways. They're minus 6.4 per 100 without Embiid or Maxey on the floor, according to Cleaning the Glass. There is a possibility that instead of, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Philly being up in the can they get to 2 conversation. And now we're talking about, are they going to have to fight their way out from 7-8? And that's kind of a dicey spot to be in, given everything that they've put into building this roster for this season.
It's tough, especially with some of the teams that are chasing them. But if you wanted to add a piece to your team, what would you add? And would that piece fit with Joel Embiid? So I think that part gets tricky.
Within that context, like, who even is the offensive piece? Because what we're hearing, Malcolm Brogdon, he's like out there publicly saying, like, I don't want to go. Keep me in Portland. I want to stick around. It's nice up here in the Pacific Northwest. There's questions about how active Utah is going to look to be. Toronto is going to have multiple suitors for Bruce Brown. What the evaluation that Daryl Morey has for that roster. Like, how can we keep it together the next month? Is it worth adding or is it worth keeping our powder dry? I think that could be one of the big domino pieces to kind of look at as we head into the trade deadline.